Hello, welcome back to my channel. I don't currently have any subscribers, but one day I will, so you gotta prepare for that. If you build it, they will come. It's literally a phrase I use all the time. So let's jump in. So this video is gonna be about the journey into candle making and the struggles that I've had in this arena. Um, so I haven't made a video in quite some time, and I've had some struggles along the way. So I want to definitely go over a couple of things that have been struggles for me and where I currently am now, how I got there, and what those hurdles were, how you might be able to overcome those if it happens for you. Okay, so once upon a time, I was brand new to candle making, had no idea what candle making was about, but it did interest me. So I started to look into it. I probably, like anybody else who doesn't know anything about making a candle, thought wax, wicks, jar, good to go, right? Is that most of us or not most of us? So of course, all you gotta do is just a little bit of research and you find out it's just not that simple. I know what I do want to do is get out of my own way. I'm in my own box. I box myself in. I'm voguing here. But I need to get out of my own box. So there's some things that I wanted to do. Definitely some aspirations that I have, and I intend to do those still one day. It is a process. I did make a candle. I've made several candles. They didn't make it. Like I have tons of candles behind me that were just there on the chopping block because they didn't make it. So I'm struggling with that. But I'm still in the process of working to get that down. Here's a candle that I made recently. I'll say probably the beginning of October because if you use soy wax, you know that it has to cure. And typical soy wax has to cure for about 2 weeks. So I made this. I know I made it either at the end of September or early October. So it's ready to burn now. Today is Halloween, so I will be burning it. It did happen to have a smooth top. I went ahead and trimmed the wick. I might have trimmed it a little too short, but I'm thinking it'll still work once it starts to melt. When you see when you burn a candle and you light it, it instantly starts to melt. So I don't think it'll be a problem, but we'll see. I'm still testing. So anyway, this was made out of pumpkin pumpkin pie. I made this out of pumpkin pie. Ugh, excuse me, that was the fragrance that I used. So yeah, I've had this jar for quite some time. I haven't even seen them anymore. I got it from Dollar Tree a couple years ago when I initially wanted to make this. I was all gung ho. I want to make this. Let's look cute. This will be a good candle. And how many years later? And I finally made one. I just decided to go for it. I'm like, I think I know enough to at least make it. So like I said, I do still need to test that candle. So I'm gonna test burn it today and just see how it worked. And then I'll let me know what I did. Now I did note everything down. I will say one thing that's very, very important as far as when you're making candles is note everything. Definitely write down everything. Write down what you used, write down how much you used. I mean you gotta formulate it, which math? Who knew? Hey, math. But yeah, so you got to formulate it. Um, Also, it's important to notate your supplies and where you got that so that you can duplicate it again if you intend to do it in the future. Also, if you again intend to do it in the future and you found out from your testing that everything was not that great, you know what to change or tweak. So definitely keep notes on everything. Mm. I don't even like pumpkin, but it really smells good. So moving on. One of my struggles is trying to find a wax. I have so much wax here. And I think I finally found one. I had decided a long time ago on the wax melt or tart wax that I was gonna use. I love it and I haven't had a reason to change. It's been great. But the problem with that is if you do any research in this community, they suggest that you have at least a backup. I don't have one, so I do plan on testing some other Tarte waxes, just to try to get a backup in case for whatever reason the wax that I use, they maybe stop making it or it's sold out for a considerable amount of time. Then I have something else to back it up, basically, what's a backup. So I'm working on that. But so far, the wax that I use BW 921. I've had no issues with it. I love that wax for tarts and wax melts, and it works great. The scent and color retention is awesome. Let me show you. So I have these breast cancer awareness wax melts for the month of October, which today is the last day. If you do want to join in, you can donate anytime, but just to be aware that October is breast cancer awareness month. So these are the wax melts that I made. They color really well. I wanted them pink, as you know, or you may not know. So the ribbon color is pink. So I colored them this color, and I think it came out really good. So again, you just make notes on everything that you did so that you can duplicate it. They smell so good. Next I have here is my snap bars. So I was doing wax melts in the clamshell modes, and I do have those as well. Matter of fact, let me get that. Okay, I'm just gonna show you everything. So my snap bars right here. I tend to like these a lot. Use again, gotta figure out how much it is to fill it. But they look good too. They're so defined. Those squares are so defined. And I like that. So that's those. And they smell good. This is apples and maple bourbon. And then I have my wax melts in the clamshell molds. And these are hard to see, but it's the yellow. Let's color these two. I mean, you can obviously see it's not white. It's a limoncello cream. Smells so good. They smell so good. So you can do either or. It's really about you and what you want to do. They smell so good. So where were my biggest struggles? Biggest struggles again, like I said, was finding a wax. I have so many waxes. I've tried several different waxes just to try to get to what I wanted. I actually found a wax that I was willing to stick with and wanted to keep, and it worked really well. But unfortunately, that company decided they didn't want to make that wax anymore, and then I had to start all over. So I so unfortunately, I'm like back to square one in my journey, which again is unfortunate, but I can do it. I still want to do this really bad. I have several candles that I made, like I said, and I'm testing. So let me get that for you. So just to be transparent, here's a candle that I made. There's some frosting there, which you'll again know. It's kind of very well known with soy wax, and also are noticeable with soy wax, and also when you color it, it shows a little bit more too. But again, this is a test candle, and I'm still learning. So here's the top. Turned out pretty smooth too. I think I burned this already. Yeah, I burned this already. Testing it. But I stopped testing it because I don't have this wax anymore. So even though it smells so good, this was their wax in their fragrance oil, and they just stopped. So I stopped with that, and I went looking for another wax. So since then, I think I found the wax. I'm not 100% sure. I'm in the testing phase now, but that is kind of just what caused me to kind of fall back and start back to square one. I had to find a new wax again because they didn't make it. I still have that wax that they had, but I didn't feel like it was necessary, or I won't say that. I did not feel like there was a purpose behind me continuing to make candles with that wax and using their fragrance if I couldn't duplicate it. So I just stopped altogether. I started researching again and found another wax that I wanted to try. And so like again, I'm back at square one, but the difference is I know a little more, right? I can take the knowledge that I had learned thus far with me on this part of the candle journey that I'm in and move forward. Also, I hadn't found a wick combination to go with that wax yet. I think I may have found one with this new wax. So it's just a process. There are so many wicks out there. There's so many waxes out there. There's so many vessels out there. Starting out, it's an expensive craft, but if you can do anything to make it a little less expensive, definitely do that. So I'm testing it in some very inexpensive jars, something that I can maintain in the process of me testing. I do have goals on what jar I want to use as time progresses once I get better. But even though these are less expensive jars, they still are jars. So once I get my candle down, I can still start to sell them this jar and then work to test on other jars and maybe bring out different lines and things like that later. So it doesn't put you in a box just because you chose something in the beginning. Plus, so many people are rebranding. Once you figure something else out and you're like, I like this better, you can use that as like a simple line or the beginning, and still use those because you know how to wick them, you know what wax to use, you know that combination, and you found that winning combination that works for you. So it's okay to stick with that. So that is where I am now on this candle making journey. I again am still testing. Hasn't been that long ago since this change occurred. Um, Making candles isn't all I do. I'm a mom and a full time employee somewhere else, so I do it definitely when I can. But the candles that I made actually are working out pretty good. So I think I might have cracked the code. Anyway, that is all for now. I'm going to end the video here. I do want to thank you all for watching. If you liked it, please hit like and subscribe and leave a comment below. If there's anything that I can help you with, just ask and I will do my very best to answer any questions that I can. I'm I'm not a expert, but I do know more than I did when I first started, so that's something. Anyway, see you next time.